Hey everybody, Motorpoet59 here. I want to talk a little bit about the confirmation hearings of Amy Coney Barrett. I'd like to say just about Amy Coney Barrett, I haven't watched a whole lot of the confirmation hearings. They're ridiculous. They're not necessary constitutionally. They are completely unnecessary. They're not required. Anyway, they drag these people through this just like they did Justice Kavanaugh. They drug people out of his past who were willing to tell total complete fabrications, things that could not be substantiated even by people that those people claimed were witnesses. And the one thing that I've liked so far about what's going on with Amy Coney Barrett is that she doesn't have any skeletons in her closet. She's kind of like Mitt Romney. And don't get me wrong, I can't stand Mitt Romney. He is a rhino up there with John McCain and Arnold Schwarzenegger, a backstabber, a turncoat to the Republican Party. But the guy was clean. He had no skeletons in his closet during his campaign. There just wasn't anything that the Democrats could dig up on him. Barack Obama was very fortunate to have won that election. And maybe the Republicans were fortunate that Romney didn't win. I don't know. Who knows? But that's another rant. Amy Coney Barrett has been nothing short of spectacular. And as I said, I haven't watched a lot of the confirmation hearings, but I've seen a lot of the clips of them from both sides. She's really good at saying yes and no. Did you do this? Yes. Do you do that? No. And let them do the fumbling around. Let them do the stuttering. One of the things that got me about this, and I'm going to say right now, I'm not going to dig real deep into it. There is a YouTube channel called Blue Collar Logic. A guy named Dave Morrison, a guy named Jason Seiler. And Dave Morrison just did a piece on these confirmation hearings about the things that the left attacked her on. And I will put a link to that video in the description below because he is much more eloquent than I am, and he has a teleprompter. And I'm just shooting from the hip. But I'll link that. He does a very good job of breaking all that down. One of the things that I heard through, especially in the beginning, not so much later on, but they kept asking her about Obamacare. Who cares? Obamacare is a law. She had nothing to do with that. That was an Obama era thing. But she had nothing to do with Obamacare. She didn't write it. They seem to be more interested in what she might do rather than what she has done. They didn't want to talk about her past record because it didn't fit their narrative. They wanted to create possibilities that might fit their narrative, and in the end it doesn't matter because she's going to get confirmed. The Republicans have the votes. They act like she's going to be creating law. And the reason the Democrats do that is because that's what their leftist judges have been doing. They're not judges, they're activists. And it's terrible. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, hey, whatever, she's gone. Good riddance. To speak ill of the dead, they say is bad luck or bad, whatever. I don't care. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was involved in some terrible legislation in the activist vein. I don't think that Coney Barrett is going to do that, not even for the right. Seems like she is going to base her decisions on the Constitution, and that is what justices are supposed to do. They're supposed to take existing law, and when legislators write laws and they're passed, then they can go before the Supreme Court to make sure that they are constitutional. Justices are not elected. They're appointed. They don't answer to the people. The politicians who appointed them and the politicians who opposed them, they're the ones who answer to the people. The people who write legislation, they are accountable to the people. They answer to the people, and the Constitution is the people. And if it doesn't line up in the Constitution, then it's not supposed to be able to happen. The left have seen to it that with some of these left-leaning legislation that has come down the pike the last 15 years. Speaking of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, what is it with all the references to her and her final wishes? who knows what her final wishes were. I did a piece on her a while back. I don't hear anybody and didn't hear anybody clamoring since the death of Anton Scalia. I don't recall anybody saying, oh, these were his dying wishes, whatever his last project was, or whatever his last words were. We should abide by those. We shouldn't abide by crap. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is gone, and she's going to be replaced by Amy Coney Barrett. And down the road sometime, when Amy Coney Barrett dies, we shouldn't accede to her final wishes either. She's gone. She's no longer part of the Supreme Court. Leave it alone. You want people to carry on the legacies of other people? Let the politicians do that, like LBJ did with JFK. As always, with the Democrats' arguments in these confirmation hearings, they don't make any sense. And that is the way the Democrats want things. They don't want things to make sense. They want confusion. They want chaos, because that is the only climate in which they are able to thrive. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But back to what I was saying. The Democrats thrive on chaos. Their voting base thrived on chaos. Look what's happening around the country right now. Complete, utter chaos. And the Democrats, not only are they not doing anything about it, they are encouraging it. And this is the exact same thing they want to do with the Supreme Court. You know, they're already talking about packing the court. Now the Republicans are talking about creating an amendment to stop that from happening. That is the chaos the Democrats feed on. And rather than just asking a brilliant, successful, beautiful woman questions that make sense, questions about whether she will or won't interpret the Constitution, or whether she will or won't attempt to create law rather than interpret law. Instead of just asking simple questions like that, they're going into the past about legislation that they created that she had nothing to do with. They're bringing up the same old tired subjects: abortion, the Second Amendment, race, trying to throw monkey wrenches into the gears, and she isn't having it, and I really like that. What do you think about Amy Coney Barrett? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.